guest says this bill is not about responding to COVID. It is about exploiting the final stretch of a public health crisis in order to enact a long-standing liberal wish list for years into the future. So you can bet he voted against. Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey is a Republican on both the Finance and Budget committees. Really feeling the consequences of the Republicans not winning those two Georgia Senate runoffs, right?
Oh, boy, America's paying a big price for this now, Dana. I mean, you just look at the litany of outrageous items in this bill. It's completely indefensible. Almost $2 trillion on top of $4 trillion. By the way, of the $4 trillion that was already done last year, probably $1 trillion of it is not even spent yet. But the Democrats are just, this is about rewarding their constituencies. I mean, they voted on Saturday to make sure that the $1,400 stimulus payments go to convicted criminals serving time in prison. They voted specifically to make sure the payments go to people, illegal immigrants who are here illegally. There's reparations for minority farmers that don't have to demonstrate any financial stress or any adverse effect from COVID, but they'll get 120% of whatever indebtedness they have just paid for by the taxpayer. But not if you're a white farmer. It's outrageous and I think unconstitutional. The list goes on and on.
That. Yeah, I was watching your Twitter feed over the weekend. I know you put out like a top 10 most outrageous. I think it was like left-wing radical moves. I can't remember the phrasing right now. You can correct me. But here was your tweet. You said another absurdity: $4 billion to give 120% loan forgiveness. Yes, more than the total of the loan to only ethnic, minority, and immigrant farmers and ranchers. No proof of income or loss incurred due to COVID is needed to qualify. Just skin color or when you came to the country, end tweet. All right, you wrote it. Explain it.
You just did. I mean, that's what it says in the bill. And I offered an amendment to strike that because I think sending people large sums of money based on the color of their skin is outrageous and unconstitutional. But every Democrat voted against my amendment, so it's still in the bill.
What does it, Senator, maybe I cut through it, what does it say about where the Democratic Party is if you get a cross the border party line vote, Democrats to Republicans? Well, where is that party position now?
Look, it's very clear to me the radical left is driving this. Remember, let's step back a second. A few weeks ago, 10 Republican senators marched down to the White House and offered President Biden on a silver platter a bill that would have been well over $600 billion, and that was their starting point for negotiations. And of course, as you know, 10 is a hugely significant number because together with the 50 Democrats, those 10 would have constituted the 60 votes needed to pass something on a bipartisan basis. So President Biden could have had, probably would have ended up over $1 trillion, but there would have been some Republican input, and you wouldn't have had these outrageous radical left provisions. President Biden never even pursued that, instead insisting on that the AOCs and the Bernie Sanders of the party had to get their way.
There's a lot in here, Senator. Thank you. We didn't even talk about the basically welfare reform in this bill. We have plenty of time to talk about it, but this bill, it looks like it's going to pass. Thank you so much, Senator.
Thanks for having me, guys.